Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So today we are going to be looking at the readings for Holy Tuesday, and I have Andrew Darling here with me. So today's readings, we've got Isaiah again, more of kind of the understanding of the servant of that's to come, that God is in this conversation with Isaiah, and Isaiah is trying to tell the people that the house of Jacob is going to come back with the house of Israel, and that this person that is to come, he uses the symbolism of birth and the person who's coming out of the womb as this sharp-edged sword. And then he says that they're going to be a light to all the nations and bring everyone back to him. So we know that that's what Jesus' mission is, right? We know that there's this understanding of the church being for all people. And then we have the scene in the gospel where Jesus is reclining, he's with his closest friends. We have this scene of him saying that one of you is going to betray me. And Peter kind of leans in, and I love the imagery of he rests his head on Jesus' chest. It's like almost like, I know you have a secret, and I know I'm really close to you, and I'm your close friend, so what's really happening? And Jesus tells him, he's like, it's going to be the one who shares this morsel with me. And then we have Judas Iscariot, who takes the morsel, eats it, and then it says Satan entered into him. And then Jesus tells him, go do what you have to get to do. And then it says the apostles weren't sure what that meant. Like, was he taking the money to go prepare for the feast? Was he going out to serve the poor? We don't know, right? And then we have the last few things that Jesus says here is, I'm going to go, but I will make sure that you're taken care of. And Peter's like, where are you going? Why can't we come? And he's like, yeah, you're just not ready for what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So,
like at all.
Like, no idea. I love the imagery in Isaiah, and I love the idea of it all coming together. And we talked yesterday a little bit about the woman who blesses Jesus with the spikenard, the well-scented perfume, and Judas's immediate greed. And then we see today where finally it's like Jesus recognizes it, he sees it. He's like, I've got to fulfill this mission of bringing the whole world together. Go do what you have to do.
Yeah.
He just kind of accepts it.
Right. I mean, he's sitting there, reclining at table, just having dinner or whatever it is, and he's like, I can't imagine being him, like knowing what he knew.
What's about to happen.
That Judas was sitting there with all this on his mind and in his heart. Like, how do you still just sit there and still be joyful and love these people?
Right.
But,
yeah. I mean, we've spent so much time up at the school and throughout the Easter season talking about like what exactly is going to happen on Good Friday, whether it's being here at the church with Stations of the Cross or being at the school where we've talked about the agony in the garden and the different things that happen. And like this posture is very different than the posture that we see come Holy Thursday. And it's interesting. I wonder in that moment if, as Jesus recognizes this, if he also recognizes that Satan has entered into Judas, and he's still allowing this to happen.
Yeah.
That's got to be a tough. It would have been a rough meal.
Yeah.
To be sitting at.
It's like some family dinner where there's just like everyone's got some issue with everybody else.
Yeah.
And like no one wants to start talking, but Jesus is still there, and he's still like, I'm still going to be here for all of you, and I'm even going to share my food with the guy I know is going to cause problems.
It's like the first Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Eucharist means Thanksgiving. So it kind of relates. Kind of like a first Thanksgiving dinner.
Almost,
before the Last Supper. But yeah.
The second to Last Supper.
The second to Last Supper. That's what we're going to call this one.
Yeah.
Is that episode title? Second to Last Supper. The idea of being a light to all nations, we get that also as we look at Pentecost, which is 50 days after Easter. Mm-hmm. That we have the fire that descends upon these same disciples that are sitting there, so that they can become the light to all nations in fulfilling that prophecy. And I think that's such a beautiful thing too. Like the story arc of Peter is something that's so beautiful to see, like kind of a dopey fisherman is how he's almost painted in the beginning. And then he walks on water. Then he's called the rock that he'll build the church on. And then he's called Satan. And here he is like, sitting next to Jesus, close enough to like rest his head on his chest, and has no idea what's about to happen.
Right.
At all.
It's like every step of the way, there's something like wildly bigger than he could possibly imagine, and if he could just trust that God was in charge of
That's
that thing,
it.
he could be okay. But every time he's like, wait, no, I have to do this thing. Apparently, when he was walking on the water, he looks down and says, like,
Yeah.
am I doing this right? And then if that's when he falls in the water,
Right.
and when he tries to, tell Jesus, like, no, I'll never let you be crucified or anything. That's when Jesus says, get behind me, Satan.
Yeah.
And just think, like, every time, if Peter just did more of what he did during this dinner, which is just sit there and ask Jesus what he's talking about or what he
Right.
means, just how much, for all of us, how much more we could believe and have faith that what God's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that, that you bring up such a good point. Like, all of these moments that Peter had, I wonder if that's why Jesus kind of kept a little bit more from him. Instead of saying, like, explicitly, Judas is the one who's going to betray me, he just tells Peter, it's the one who does this, and then tells Judas to go, and Peter's like, where's he going? Maybe Peter would have tried to prevent it, and Jesus knew
Right.
what was about to come, and it had to happen that way,
Right.
and be willing and open to that. So, yeah, I think it's very important to look at things in the way that you had talked about with St. Peter, that we all just need to trust a little bit more. We all just need to take a minute to recognize what is going on during this week and trust that there is a plan, and that's why we call it Good Friday as we lead up to that. So thank you for being with us today. Thank you, Andrew, for being here with me. We look forward to you joining us tomorrow for Holy Wednesday, or Wednesday of Holy Week. I will hopefully have Erica here with me tomorrow, and we will continue this journey. From all of us here at All Saints, please continue to pray for us and know that we are praying for you as well. God bless.